Before today's video, I just want to say real quick that this might look familiar, and it's because it is. I am currently working on a really big video. It's going to be a long video about me playing through every game in a specific series. I don't want to spoil it just yet. And with that being said, I won't be able to upload or work on different videos as much because I really want to focus all my attention on this specific video. So in the meantime, to fill the gaps, I'm going to be uploading small segments from my I Played Every Nickelodeon Game and I Played Every Cartoon Network Game videos as their own separate videos. This will only be a thing for a few weeks while I work on this big ass video. Enjoy the video. Thank you for watching.
We go head in the head, we go head in the head, we go rumble and stumble all night and day. We go head in the head, we go head in the head, with our backsides shaking, we go head in the head.
Released in 2006 and being the most recent of the games I'm covering in this video, I didn't have any expectations at all going into this game. Like, I never really hear anybody talking about it, and it's a shame because I'm not gonna lie, I know a lot of people don't like it, but the movie it's based on I think is severely underrated. Color me surprised because Barnyard the video game is a pretty good fucking game. The game follows the plot of the movie, but instead of being a complete adaptation, it kind of just gives us a very basic outline and look at the events while focusing more on the gameplay in between. The gameplay is basically if Bully's Open World and Biking had sex with Mario Party's minigames, and they also invited Breath of the Wild's cooking and exploration, but when they had a baby, they decided to give it to parents who never really loved it to its full potential because there was always the elephant in the room that it wasn't really their baby, but they still loved it as much as they possibly could. What are we talking about again? The game makes a good first impression with the opening cutscene having some funny lines and quite a bit of personality.
Did you ever think of donating your body to, science?
Just be gentle with me, Otis. It's my first time.
Farmer!
Whoa! Pull me up! Pull me up!
Dude, you're a cow, I'm a mouse. Do the math.
Barnyard is basically an open world adventure game with a ton of mini games to play as missions. You choose from a variety of breeds and name your cow. I've named mine Chum Chum because that's fun to say. The open world itself is surprisingly big, but very easy to navigate and learn the layout of. It didn't take me long to be able to find my way around without checking the map. Let's talk about the open world before we get into the meat of the missions. There's a lot to say here, so bear with me. While exploring, you can find recipes, cook ingredients, flowers to pick. You can sneak around the forest and get some honey which can be sold or also used as a cooking ingredient. You're eventually given this plant that you can plant and water with your titty milk to create a flower that you can climb that'll let you find secrets and money. There's also a money system in this game. You'll get awarded money for most missions and mini games you complete, but sometimes you're also given a gold rush token which you could put into a gold rush coin slot. You're then given a set amount of time to collect as many coins as you can. The money can be used to buy upgraded bikes, cooking ingredients, but mainly new mini games and decorations for the barn. You see, these animals are a special kind of breed, party animals. So every night, and yes, this game has a day and night cycle, the animals have a party in the barn which you can slowly upgrade throughout the game at your own pace by choosing what to add. And honestly, it's a really satisfying feature seeing it at the beginning compared to 6 hours in when you've invested thousands of coins into it and you start seeing the barn become this thing you've built. How's the music, you ask? Well, it kind of slaps actually. There's a lot of memorable tracks, with my personal favorite being the golfing music. And the nighttime music. The other tracks are just as pleasant to listen to and sometimes even add some comedy to the respective scenes. You're usually given up to 3 missions you can take on at once, and if they're daytime missions, you'll have to do them before nighttime, or try them again the next day, while nighttime missions must be completed before the sun comes back up, before having to try them again the following night. You can also skip to the next time of day or night by sleeping in your bed, which also helps you recover stamina faster. The mini games are honestly all a really good time. You got bicycle races, car chases with the police, golfing, teasing the mailman, throwing the baby chicks into the coop, controlling a flying chicken through rings, bartending but with milk, scaring off raccoons from stealing the farmer's vegetables, hide and seek with the baby chicks, mud jumpers, which is where you have to knock each other off platforms using a spinning water pipe, and that's like just scratching the surface. You even buy more mini games as you like make your barn better, and those are fun too. After playing through a minigame once, you get the chance to go back and play it whenever you want, but you also still get missions having you revisit those minigames with the difficulty going up each time you replay it. And this is actually where one of my biggest gripes with this game comes in. There are so many fantastic minigames, but during the story, it feels like they sometimes reuse the same 3 over and over again in a single chapter. To prove my point, I will now give you a quick mission by mission rundown. Otis challenges us to some go for golf, and afterwards challenges us to beat his can shooting record on the golf course, which we do with ease. Then we're tasked with finding ingredients to make the farmer cake. One of those ingredients is butter, which we can buy in the gopher shop or make it ourselves by putting some milk in this canister, then turning it into cream and choosing to either keep the cream or shaking it further into butter and putting it in our inventory. We grab an egg from the chicken den hen thing and go steal some honey in the forest by sneaking around groups of patrolling bees and stealing the honey from their nest when they're not around, but don't get stung. We cook the ingredients together to make the cake and maybe even make a fruit salad while we're at it, but shh, that'll be our little secret. We spent 800 coins on upgrades for the barn because we worked for it. Treat yourself. Freddy, one of our carnivorous friends who's trying to live a vegetarian life, loses it and starts to have gay thoughts, and we stop him from eating all the cock. So now it's the next day and Otis invites us to golf the back nine, which keep in mind this is the second time he's invited us to play golf, but it's fine because the minigame is fairly new and it's fun because it's not regular golf. You shoot your first shot and depending on how good it is, it'll give you a head start towards the hole, and for the rest of the game you control a gopher in the ground and throw the ball into the hole, and it's honestly a creative spin on golf and it's pretty fun for now. Then Daisy, who by the way gets the standout award for worst performance in the game hands down.
I am so sorry about Ben.
Like a part of me is convinced they got a literal AI to play this bitch. Anyway, it's Everett the dog's 13th birthday and everyone wants to have some charity games in order to raise 1,000 coins to send him off on a long vacation where I'm assuming he's getting the old Lassie treatment. We play a game of mud jumpers, and usually I love this game, but this time with the increased difficulty, I found myself getting frustrated as I continually lost to this pink fat thumb. The next game is chicken launch. So the controls are inverted, and they don't tell you, which means if you're not used to inverted controls, and really who is, you're probably going to have a small learning curve, but it's fine because the actual minigame is short but fast paced and a lot of fun. The next game is a 2-lap race against the Jersey Cows, and the bike races are also a lot of fun, especially since the bike has very responsive controls, with my only gripe being the camera. I wish it let us see more of what was coming ahead since sharp corners can be hard to get through at times. The next game is Sharp Squirter, and I really don't like this one. There's no challenge. You're just running around shooting cans with your milk jugs, and it's slow paced and can go up to 3 very boring rounds. Final game is another round of Go for Golf, and I gotta say, it was here when the golfing game started to irk me a bit, but it was fine because I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for Everett, the goddamn dog. So we raise enough money, send Everett on his way, but first we throw him a party where we have this bartender and the minigame is fun, but damn do I find it difficult. At night during a party at the Barnyard, Ben is attacked by fucking coyotes and dies.
That night, we lost Ben. He was our leader and our friend.
Excuse me, we have been throwing parties and teasing mailmen, and now we're dealing with death? Imagine if Luigi fucking died in the middle of a Mario Marty sesh. So the next day, we meet up with Otis by the golf course, and he's, I can't believe Dad's gone and I'm now in charge. Hey, how about some golf? Except this time, instead of doing 9 holes at a time, which is how we've been doing it the first 3 times, which by the way is already 27 fucking holes, we now have to do all 18 holes. And so I spent 25 fucking minutes playing golf when I wanted to play barn fucking yard, but it's fine, because golf is behind us. There's no way there's another golf course mission after this. We finally did all 18 holes at once. We get it done, and that night, Joey asked us to bring us scrap metal for his shop. Whatever, he's hooked us up with a ton of stuff at the barn at this point, and after that, the Jersey Cows asked us to go on a joyride, and this is the second one. But I like these because we actually go down different streets and the car controls are surprisingly responsive and easy to maneuver. They're not the best, like they're not fucking Crash Nitro car controls, but they're also not Garfield car controls. So the next day the Jersey Cows challenge us to a bike race, and just like the Joyride games, these are fun because it's always a different path with increasingly difficult AI. I just wish they were spaced out a bit more with more variety in between, but whatever. We beat them at the race, and then Otis challenged us to play golf again. Jesus Christ, Otis, at this rate you might as well run for president of the United States. So we play some stupid golf for golf, and I gotta say, this time around I make some hole-in-ones, and that did lift my spirits a bit. So we finally finished the 5th game of golf in a span of 3 hours, and then my game decides it's the perfect time to crash. So I sit there looking at the dark abyss as my reflection stares back at me on my TV, gazing into my own eyes, allowing me to see the sadness in the shadows of brown. I whisper to myself, fuck this. And that's Barnyard, a game that I was set on finishing and dedicated almost 7 hours to, just to lose 3 hours of progress because I forgot to fucking save. But overall, the game was still a really good time. Even when I was getting tired of the same joyride, bike race, or golf mission, there was still a ton of other games to play anytime I wanted a break. And even though I started with the mindset of, okay, I have to finish this game as fast as possible in order to get the video out, I ended up actually spending a lot of time just running around and doing my own side stuff because I was having fun. I would run around and look for secret areas, go find some ingredients ingredients to see what foods I can make and participate in a bunch of Gold Rush minigames. And I'll even admit, as repetitive as it can be, the increasing difficulty of the minigames that did repeat a lot, every time you replay them, it does add a nice bit of challenge, and it takes away from the monotony that would have come with it if it had been as easy as it was the first time. I honestly still see myself going back to finish the game off screen, but for now, I refuse to go near it considering I have 3 hours of the same minigames to play.